Hi Dave, I'm here with your Ariens 1130 DLE snowblower, and I just wanted to go over some service items with you and just let you know how things are progressing with your machine and what things it needs. So we'll start at the top. I went and I lubed all of your controls, all the pivot points on all the levers, lubricated anything where you're going to have a rotation on a lever or a cable or anything like that. I always make sure they're all greased up well. If nothing else, it takes little squeaks and stuff out of the machine, and also makes everything so it moves around a lot better than it usually would. I did notice that your right hand side, I have that engaged right now, but your right hand side auger lever was bent over towards the left, and it was underneath the cable. The cable's connected to the lever. It was actually hitting on this piece of metal, and I straightened that out so it wouldn't do that anymore. So that was all taken care of. I went on and I took apart your friction drive. I don't think I can get a shot of it up in there, but you can see it a little bit. Anyway, I cleaned up your steel disc. It was all full of rubber. I did inspect your drive rubber as well. You can just see it sort of there on right above that rusty axle. It is starting to get worn on the left side. It's okay, but it's sort of tapered over to the right, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but your right side's starting to get down. It might last you another winter. You have a small driveway, so it might last you the rest of the winter. You just have to either change it or give it a try, I guess. It's up to you. It's not delaminating. It's not cracked. It's in good condition, so it's never been. Usually if they get cracked and stuff, people have been spinning them too much, and they get overheated and that sort of thing. Anyway, onward. I lubed up everything in there. All your drive chains and everything like that are all in good shape. I inspected your belts on the snowblower. I'll send along a couple of pictures. It will accompany the video, but on this snowblower you'll see that you have two auger belts, and then in behind you have you actually have another belt in there. That back belt's for your drive. On your front auger belts, that front belt of the two, they come as a set. It has a crack in it, and if I were you, I would replace that now before it. You don't want that to be something that gives you trouble in the middle of a snowstorm when it's 15 below zero kind of thing. So my suggestion would be to replace those belts right now and have that done with. Your drive belt at first looked like it was okay, and then I turned it around enough, and I'll send a picture of that as well, and I found a spot where that belt is actually delaminated slightly, so it's up to you. But I would myself, if it were mine, I would replace that belt as well. It's a new to you snowblower, and most things on it are in pretty good condition, so it'd be good to have that all fixed up, and you wouldn't have to worry about it. Onward here, I get my other list that I have. Zoom back out. Sorry about my camera work. I checked up here. I checked all the condition of your auger impellers in good shape. I did notice that on this left side you're missing a shear pin, so that needs to be replaced. Sorry about that. So that's just one of the shear pins. There's one over here, and that's still in place, and the other one's missing. I removed the plug and checked to make sure that your gear oil was still in good shape in your gear case, and it is. The bottom of your auger housing down here and your scraper bar were bowed, so it was bent. So the machine was actually touching in the middle and not on the sides. And actually it was at a level. One skid shoe was set higher than the other one was. So what I did is I straightened that out. I was able to bang it out with a soft mallet, and I think I've got it set there pretty good. She's pretty even all the way across. I also took off your skid shoes and I flipped them. Both of them are wore down a little bit on the first side. I try to encourage people to flip those over every winter, and that way you don't end up in a situation where you've wore down through the skid shoe, and then once you wear down through the skid shoe, well, then you start wearing away your scraper blade and your auger housing. And the scraper blade itself is supposed to scrape snow. It's not actually supposed to scrape ground, so that's actually always supposed to have a space underneath of it, higher or lower depending on if you're on pavement or gravel or whatever. Everything else in the front end was all in pretty good shape. You'll see inside your chute, the rotation part, I've lubricated all that with light lithium. And your deflector chute up here was binding on one side. You can actually see where previous owner had it, it's all scraped away and rusted there a bit. I just bowed it out a little bit so it doesn't touch anymore, and she flops up and down. So it was hitting hard enough that when you pulled the cable, the spring didn't have enough pressure to make the chute go back up. So anyway, it works now the way it's supposed to. Cables look like they're in good shape. I don't see any issue there. Let's see. Impeller bearing. Got that. Just 1 second here. Got to make sure I'm caught up on my list. Oh, I adjusted your cables for your chute, for your auger and your drive levers, just to make sure they were set the way they're supposed to be. Actually, on these machines, there's a indicator over here on one side that sort of tells you where that's supposed to be set at. There's a grease fitting on the right-hand side of the drive assembly. You see that in there. I greased that as well. Your carburetor up in there. I removed the float bowl and cleaned it all out. Drained out all the old fuel that was in it. Did have the fuel that was in it was pretty much stale. It did run on it, but it didn't run on it really well. I removed your spark plug, cleaned it up, and set the gap on it. Made sure it was in still good shape. It's still usable. You can go for a while yet with that. Check the condition of your recoil rope. It's in good shape. The electric start works fine. No issues there. I did notice it when I ran the engine that it was slightly overclocked, and that just means that these engines are only supposed to go up to a maximum RPM, and this one sounds to me like it's going a little bit faster than that. I didn't put my tack on it, but what I'll do when I'm getting finished up here with it, I'll run it again with new fuel, just in case the fuel that was in it had a little bit of water or something like that in it and it was affecting it. And I'll run it with new fuel and just set that and make sure that she's not going faster than she's supposed to. Let's see. I changed your engine oil. Can't forget that. New 5W30 oil. Made sure that your drive and your auger are all engaged the way they're supposed to. It goes forward and backwards the way it's supposed to. And I set your tire pressure. I did notice this lever for your drive. Looks like it's popped apart, so I'll fix that up for you. And any of the other items, I'll send you pricing with them, like your belts and that sort of thing, and make sure that you get an idea how much those things would cost to repair. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll send you this video, and then shortly after, I'll send you the second video of your other snowblower, your MTD brand. Hope you're having a good afternoon, and have a great night.